He's the main caster for a league called ASL, which is excellent, which I got to cast and participate in over the past couple months, and he puts in tons and tons of work. Up here we do have the guy I'm talking about, TrpleT's Ascended here in the style of yellow.
Asunder.
Yay! And yes, the map is so old. That is the idea, but it's more fun that way. And down here, you want to say like lower left-hand corner. These aren't corners; they're just in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
The south.
Yeah, they're oasi in the desert. I don't know if that's how you pluralize that.
I'm working with it. Oasis.
Yeah.
Is it just Oasis?
They're wonder walls in the desert.
I don't think there's anything you have to do to. I think it's just Oasis. There's more than one Oasis. It's just Oasis. Yeah. I think.
Look at all the Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. When you say that, I feel dumb, but it seems like the right choice. Anyway, but our other player is Kaien. We're warming up here too, guys. We'll get the hang of this.
Yeah, that guy. So we do have the, I guess, maybe early probe going out, and of course a really weird scouting path that you have to take here. You can either wrap around the base entirely, you can cut through the middle like that. They have actually changed the map, I think, a tiny bit from when it was first released. They actually made the middle like wider or something like that.
I think they may have added rocks and removed rocks and whatnot.
They did things.
But here comes this early scout, and it looks like our Zerg player was actually scouting for proxies or just trying to hide his probe to get... And you'll notice where the natural expansion is on that mini-map. And he does get that down, so we've got the expansion out without any harass from our Protoss player, despite a fairly early scout. Protoss player going for a gateway opening, which is smart because it was the only viable opening at the time and absolutely maintains its status on Desert Oasis.
It's definitely a little hard to forge fast expand on this map, but also equally hard for the Zerg to connect his bases with creep, as they are quite a ways apart, several kilometers, if you will. There's a good example of the distance.
Oh, our production is just absolutely amazing. Can I just say, though, if you look at that ramp, what it used to be was that creep tumors couldn't go on the ramp.
Right.
So it took like 12 creep tumors to get to that expansion. It was just hilarious.
That is true. They loosened up on that.
Thank
I like
God.
it when they added the slopey mechanics. You used to not even be able to warp in on a slope either,
right.
Which is really bad, like a lot of the time. Like, you'd want that clutch warp in on your own ramp, and you can't do it. You have to do it on some other ground. But pretty normal openings, despite the weirdness of the map. Here, we've got our Protoss player going for the double gas. Curious if Kaien's going to try and actually go for a third base or anything. No real indication of that yet, although he is saving up a lot of minerals, although he spends that on speed as soon as I say it, making a complete liar and ass.
He was saving up speed minerals. That's still a lot of minerals. And I will say that he's actually been very, very active with his probe, and we do see a Stargate drop down. Now, this was literally the correct Protoss opener because Void Ray beat a Queen, so one Void Ray could fly across the map and win the game, and then the Zerg GG'd. Now, things might be a little bit different today, but... we'll see how it works out and if he's ready. I mean, if you're playing Desert Oasis, you should be expecting some sort of an air strategy. Some early lings to put some pressure on. Obviously, they're going to be held off. But just even controlling this watchtower is so valuable because it controls the airspace. It gives you that warning time, maybe to get down some spores or whatnot if that Void Ray does come across. But we'll see what he wants to do with the Stargate as it's just about to finish up. And what comes on the production tab? Phoenixes or Oracles?
It will be an Oracle. Yeah, it kind of makes... some sense to give this a try. Again, such short air distances here, and the whole back ledge of that is really exposed. It's going to be hard to also move queens from one base to the other.
Not hard, but impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly with no creep there, you're just not going to be able to move them from one place over to the other side. Now, the Lings will get up. I'm not sure if they got a peek at what was going on there, whether they saw the Stargate, but if they didn't, then this Overlord certainly will as the Oracle comes out and flies right by
it looks like, and they clearly do see, and a Spore comes down, and that's really going to change the dynamic of what this Oracle is able to do. It's going to take some micro to get some damage done as opposed to just being able to fly right in there and work away at those drones. And here's the real test. Is this Oracle going to pay off? Let's count the kills. We've got 0, 1, 2. It's almost dead. Okay, it keeps it alive. Well,
to the first prime number.
Wow.
It is. I'm gonna.
The first. non-negative integer prime number.
It is. It's,
I'm sorry, people haven't seen the video yet, but if you do see the video, you'll maybe get the horrible joke.
Exactly. And I'll be pointing out, hopefully, as many prime numbers as possible throughout the evening.
Shout out to Number Muncher's Prime Mode, which was my favorite game growing up as a kid.
It was definitely great. Now we got Lings trying to shove their way into the front. There is a Zealot there, but that will actually fall just before the second one is out. He dekes into position there, but he can't go too far out. He's going to try and chase these, but we'll see how many kills this does ultimately end up with. The Void Rays going a little quiet, and then converging on this Zealot are the remaining Lings. And Probe's doing a reasonable job of fending that off. Got 4 worker kills to 5.
If this pylon goes out, that's going to be a huge deal. The Mothership Core actually has come out, and that changes the whole dynamic because he will be able to clean this up eventually. And I don't even think this pylon's going to die. The Probe's
may be able to hold that off. Additional ones are coming, but as long as he can kind of restabilize before they get there. And you're right, the pylon does get saved by this awesome basketball that never existed when Desert Oasis was very first conceived in the sparkling eye.
Oh no, the Zealot's out of position. He's got to get that back in hold position before those Lings get there.
Now, Oracle's actually really good. Yeah, obviously against the Lings. Good against light units like that. Not ideally what you want to be using them for, but if it's saving your kind of Artosis pylon here, then that's probably what you want to be doing.
And in this case, because it's a low economy game, every 2 Lings he kills is actually a drone. So this is actually fantastic use of the Oracle's effectively. Although really you want to be killing his workers, but if he's going to send his larva into your base, kill him for free here too. Why not? And it looked like not even a probe. Maybe 1 probe went down. Oh, and we've got the macro hatchery to try to get the creep going to the base. Considering this is an air-type play, I can see why he might want to do so. Can we check if there are rocks blocking what would be the lower third base?
I think I forget if there was any version that had them. I remember rocks of some sort, but I don't know if that was really the case.
Okay.
But maybe I'm hallucinating now. But yeah, I do like that that Kaien here is... Oh yeah, the ramp itself? Yeah. There are. Yes, on the ramp itself, not on the actual expansion, is where rocks actually are. So yeah, definitely there are some, just not in the place that I thought. I do like the placement of this hatchery. It's kind of our first sign of someone that's really playing the map.
Yes.
For sure, because you would never do that usually. Obviously, he's put the hatchery just in the middle, but it's someone that is deciding, it would be really annoying to connect this whole thing with creep. I'm going to speed the process along and just make a hatchery smack dab in the middle of everything here. And also taking that gold up on this side as well as Ascended starts to expand. So both players kind of stabilizing the way they are and deciding to tech up and get some economy up a little further, as we do see a spire going down for Kaien here.
Yeah, and what's interesting actually is that gold base doesn't seem... It's not as exposed as you would think, because the rocks need to be broken before the Protoss player can take anything but the longest pathway around. He has to go through his natural, through the middle of the map, past like 3 different watchtowers. Obviously, air units can bypass that a little bit. A little bit of harass here. Looks like he's going to pick off a Ling or 2 and confirm that there is an expansion with some cannons and some extra gateways going up, but not seeing anything in the way of what the expanded tech is. It's good to see some scouting here. There's quite a lot of Lings being made, which is quite surprising in this matchup. It's not really the norm. Obviously, the early aggression was somewhat effective. Here now we see these rocks going to be broken down. That'll allow him to take a much safer 4th if he wishes to. I don't know how long that gold base will go up. What I remember of this map was just the crazy battles over the gold bases that literally undefendable. They're just out in the open in every single way except for having watchtowers. And we'll see how this goes. Looks like that spire may have been scouted because we've got cannons going up in mineral lines. Still some Void Rays being made, though. We haven't switched over to Phoenix production. Yeah, there is just the one Phoenix out, and another Void Ray is definitely coming out onto the map. So a little switch into those might actually help, as we do see our first Mutaflock making its way across here with its orange flappy wings. And 12 mutas combined together can be highly effective against a single Phoenix and some Void Rays. Can easily clean up that Mothership Core and a Void Ray or 2. Cannon's going to finish. It looks like he's not even going to lose a muta, hardly take any damage at all. Workers are going to have to make a run for their lives. He's just picking off. He's getting guaranteed damage here with the mutas, which I mean, I can see, don't throw away the game. He's not killing the critical units. Ooh, if he turns around, those oracles are free.
He's almost like chasing with oracles, maybe forgetting. Oh, that's actually a good idea. That's pretty cute to do as he kind of comes back into his air defense as well as the photon overcharge defense, which does go off here. And we'll lose a Muta. Will he get a second one down there? No, not quite yet. So
2 mutas for a mothership core. Well, if he continues the production, he can keep it up. He's still only at, I think, 4 gas. Might just be adding the 6 gases at his gold. It looks like, yes, he is actually mining those. What are the drone, the worker numbers, if we take a quick look right now?
Worker numbers just going up to 62 there for Kaien, but a quite respectable 42 for our Protoss player. So pretty good off of 2 bases here, particularly with the original little bit of worker damage done to him by the Lings.
Oh my, 3
Stargates.
Not any ground units. The entire ground army for Protoss is literally 2 Zealots and 2 Stalkers. Everything else is air. It's going to be air versus, it's going to be Protoss air versus the Corruptor Muta composition, and it's going to take micro and positioning to make this work. Storms really help out, but I don't think we're going to see those anytime soon. No. Although at least we have
the Twilight coming down. Will at least help him either grab Blink or move into Archon a little later on. Which he kind of does need to do.
No cancel on either of those cannons, and these workers are just getting savage. Now these Phoenixes are going to fly in, but they have to be so careful. It's just not enough really to push off this kind of army. I'm surprised he didn't even stay and fight, and he looks like he's... Okay, now we've got up to at least the 6 Phoenixes.
A good number of them here, although I'd like to see the Void Rays coming with them because they're more effective, obviously, against the Corruptors themselves. But the back rocks here slowing down the Zerg before he can just come in. Nice little Zealot movement down to that base.
When you only have 2 Zealots and they're denying the 4th base, that's a huge deal.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. And we've largely got air against air here, and do have the Phoenix, one of them getting picked off there. It's harder to do this, obviously, when the Corruptors are there available. And where are the Void Rays? Are they just gone?
They're sitting in the base.
Crazy? Yeah, there's 3 of them, and they're not with us.
This Phoenix micro is reasonably good.
These are pretty good here.
He's getting the mutas to draw out from behind the Corruptors, and I mean, as long as he doesn't swing back again and have those 2 red Phoenixes get picked off, he flies right through. No, but he's still keeping the numbers almost manageable. We'll see what the huge sweep out is. He just noticed the Void Rays now that he flew back into them. Yeah, these Lings are starting to savage the worker line and whatnot. They're being picked off. Things are starting to look very, very rough for our Protoss player because he's really down to only 24 workers, and any ground army he makes is just getting wiped out by these Lings. But 3 Void Rays stand. 3 Void Rays stand. It sounds ridiculous, but it's something. Now our Zerg has enough money for at least 10 more Mutas and about 2,000 Lings. Well, I mean 2,000 minerals, but that's something like 2,000 Lings.
2,000 Lings, whatever. Something like that. I feel if the Void Rays were there a little bit earlier, maybe could have helped out a lot with that. Also needed a few more Zealots on the ground just to prevent the Lings from running roughshod over everything. Yeah. But, not looking too healthy for our Protoss player here on our first map, Desert Oasis. But I kind of expect, some sort of tap out, particularly once this final air fleet goes down. If those Void Rays go, then that's kind of the last legs. We do get the proxy base, maybe Manor Hatchery, going down by Kaien there, up in the top middle of the map.
It's funny because if those rocks aren't taken down and you're not fighting an air army, that's actually a somewhat safe army.
Yeah, it's a perfectly valid base to take. Yeah, exactly.
And there goes... Well, he's finishing off the mutas every time. And I mean, it's going to delay the game at minimum. Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, just nothing to stop the Lings. And Ascended does tap out. Kaien taking game 1 there. So Ascended will get his choice of horrible maps to go with. And we'll see what he picks if he tries to pick something intentionally.
I do have one thing to say about that game.
Do it.
GGO boy, what?
Oh.
We're gonna different.